In our last video making a metal figure, we took the short piece of mild steel rod and we formed it using our template to make our legs and our stand. Notice the way it's flat on the paper. Okay, we might be able to bend those into a 3D shape later on, but at the moment we're going to make a 2D or a flat shape. So our next stage is to take our long piece of mild steel rod, and this piece is going to be to make the body and the head and then the arms. Making the head, this is probably the trickiest part, so this is the part we'll do first. It's a circle. We need to form this metal rod into a circle. How are we going to do that? Well, we're going to use a jig, and that jig, we have two here. It is a circle which is the same size as our head, and we have a stopper in there which will hold our steel for us. So to do this we need to anchor our steel rod into there and then bend the metal all the way around. So into the vise. Now, as before, we could use the hammer and we could tap it round, but we can bend this, and I can bend it by hand, but to protect our fingers I'm going to use a strip of wood with a groove in it, or similarly I've got a strip of aluminium with a groove in it. So I'll try the aluminium first. I'm going to put the aluminium onto the steel, and that's much nicer to hold, and then I can bend it, but no, I'm still holding it, bending it as close to the former as I can. So if I do it over here, the whole thing will just bend. So a nice accurate bend, work my way around, make sure the metal doesn't slip out. Okay, got to move your body. Pop it back in, but you can see it's starting to form nicely. Back into the former, and then keep bending all the way around until I get right back to the stopper. Okay. We now have a formed circle. So the next thing we have to do is we'll put that on there, show it's about the same size. Now where it gets to the neck, I need to bend that down. Okay? So remove our jig, we can finish with that now. Into there, and I'm just going to use my fingers inside the hole, inside the head. It's quite tricky to hold it flat in the vise. And then bend into there. Quite tight. We now have our head formed, and we're going to come down to our body. So we've got a neck, and then we go right down to the base of the body, which is there. Now this is where we need to cut. We don't want to form this because we've already got our legs, so we're going to cut that off there, put it into the vise flat, hold it nice and steady, and then to cut it we are going to use our next tool, which is hacksaw. Long blade, very small, fine teeth pointing in that direction, which means it will cut as we push the saw. Hold it by the handle, finger pointing in the direction you want to go, and the other hand rests on the top of there. Right next to the edge of the vise, I'm just going to draw it back twice, so I have a little tiny groove in the metal so for the blade to sit in, and I'm going to cut straight, making sure my saw is at 90 degrees with the vise, or parallel with that part of the vise, 90 degrees to the jaws. Work it through, use the whole length of the blade, and that's done. Now, because because we've cut it, that's going to be sharp, so don't put your fingers on it. In fact, put it straight back in the vise, like we did in the previous video. Use our file and just file that down now before you forget. We have a nice safe edge there. Now that piece is left over, and that is what we're going to do the arms in the next video. Just to finish off the body, which fell on the floor, again sharp edge on here also, into the vise, flat, get those edges off, check it, still a little bit sharp. Done. So in the next video we'll form our remaining piece of mild steel rod into our arms.